So, I don't know why, but sometimes I think people doubt that we put as much work into what we do. We get up at crazy o'clock to get this shit done day to day. So, I just want to kind of give it a little bit of context. It is 4:30 right this moment in time, because I have to be at work for 5 o'clock, all dressed, kind of suited and booted. But it's not a sob. I'm not trying to say, look, hey guys, look at me, feel sorry for me. I'm just trying to give you an impression as to how hard we are working, the effort we are putting into making this whole concept, this idea, actually tick, work, move. Yeah, that's it. Oh my gosh, it's cold this morning. Let's look at the positives, okay? I'm a positive kind of guy, and that's where I like to look at life. This experience has had me communicate so much better with my team. I have touch points with them every day, maybe 3, sometimes 4 times a day. I deal with things as they come into my head. I prep and prepare for each and every day, and as a consequence, I think we're getting more done, strangely enough. And it's just those things that I think that we're all going to learn from, and we're all going to grow from at the end of this. It is what it is. We've got to deal with it. We've got to make sure that what we're doing is value add to ourselves, to each other and others every day. And what we're doing is staying on top of the communication, okay? Isolation is a bitch. It's a pain in the arse. So communication is all we've got. That is it. So communicate with your staff, communicate with your team, make sure that there is this very, 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 very strict policy of meeting points throughout the day, and I'm telling you now, that's what's getting us through all of this. Just that, having that kind of catch up at 9 a.m, the catch up at 12, the catch up at 4:30 before the end of every day. And those sort of like little micro moments, again, that if you have an idea, you communicate with your team, you communicate with that someone that's going to facilitate that little micro issue that you've got, or that micro, or help you fulfill on that little micro mini idea or moment that you're having in your head right now. That is it. That is what I want people to do. I think that will help. So, quarantine for some of us have been more social, hasn't been particularly very different. I figured I'd do some kind of vlog today, show you a bit of a day in the life of what we have to do here at Be More Social, what quarantine has been like for me particularly as CEO of the Be More Group, Be More Social, and everything else that goes with it. Hope you get a decent view of how it's going to be. So, a typical day for me starts at 5:30. It's 5:30 now in the morning. Prep for the day, get shit done. I've got 2 webinars to do for 2 very large organisations. There's going to be quite a few number in terms of viewers, watchers, call them what you will. I get very nervous, if I'm honest with you, before a webinar, because for me there's no energy in there. There is no life. I can't feed back on the body language and people's faces. I often I use that energy to try and get enthusiastic and excited about what I do. That's how I deliver. So we play lots of music very loudly. Now the webinar that's coming on Thursday is the 5 fundamentals, and it talks about identifying first of all your value proposition, that being that you promote B&Bs, and second of all, finding your inbound activity. That talks about having a feature list of content. Okay, Ben, any more questions?
Is there a best time to post on Instagram during the day?
Yes, between 2 and 4 is a good time, and 7 and 10 in the evening time. They're generally the good times. But look, the reality is it all depends on your audience. That's across the board. Okay, that's a very broad brushstroke view of when you should be posting content. It would be a good idea or a nice idea to understand who your audience is so that you can kind of like identify it. But look, right now, any time is a good time. People are at home. The uptake of social has gone up by 51%. Huge numbers. So if you're posting twice, 3 times a day at any point or any time in the day, for a week or more, the platform will tell you. The reach that you're receiving, the levels of engagement that you're receiving will certainly tell you the best time right now, because when we're all back at work, that's going to change. All of that is going to be completely different. So we're in this kind of like strange position right now where, to be honest with you, all the rules have been broken, and really just doing it and engaging and putting content out is really what's most important right now. Progress update. We've already established that we're going to kick David's ass because he put me back to back with webinars, haven't we? This is kind of what happens on a typical day-to-day Be More Social. They think that like they can just put me in front of that thing and that'll be good. So David, you need some shit, man. But progress report: successful delivery to the LEP, successful delivery to FSB. Yeah, happy so far. It just doesn't. It's very difficult for me to sort of like compile everything in my head because it just happens at such a rate. I get faced with a task and it just kind of like do it. It's good. I like working like that. I'm not complaining, David, by the way. If you watch this back, and I know you will do and you might do, I am complaining, but I'm not complaining. I like working back to back like that because it suits me. It keeps me going. But I don't think everybody else does. Like we've got 2 webinars, 2 very important webinars, big ones as well, paid for ones. How cool is that? Sometimes, a lot of the times we do this chisel for free. Not that we have to, it's because we care. But sometimes people go, I want more. I don't want the typical stuff. I want what's in Rick's brain. But that does cost. Otherwise, why are we in this whole stuff? And how am I paying for people? So we've got a couple of huge webinars for some nice, tasty clients. And I think in a time like this, it's really, really good. What are you giggling at?
Tasty clients. Tasty.
I can just only apologise for Road. He's like an isolated character. You don't get out very much. Okay. But what happens is I struggle to feel the energy. I like to deliver in person. Bit like a workshop is my stage, okay? So when I see people's eyes open, I see people get excited, I get excited. So what I'm doing right now is I'm turning to Spotify. Forget McDonald's. We spent a fucking year talking about McDonald's, trying to get sponsored from them. So now, because we're in lockdown, we're trying to get sponsored from Spotify. So the 30 viewers that on my YouTube channel that might want to watch this shit, what we're doing is we're choosing a playlist to get me in the mood, to get me excited, ready for delivering to nobody but everybody at the same time. It's a very weird feeling. It's a very, very weird feeling. So I get numbers delivered to me on this TV thing over here. People can see me because of the cameras, the lights. I deliver the action. But the numbers come to me and I ask for a degree of feedback. But what feeds me the energy in the first place is something lively, bouncy and bubbly that pisses everybody off.
I like the music.
Okay, you like the music because it's kind of like cool. However, Ben doesn't. Okay, so yes, that's what we're doing today. And we're gonna let you in on a day in the life of what it's like to be Rick.
Rick's life.
Rick's life. I'm singing.
Best dance moves.
Alright.
So easy to do that.
Let's get him! What's the camera?
Get off it!
Just gets to me. Good morning everybody, and thank you for joining me for the beginner's guide to social media. I know it says intermediate, I apologise. It is the beginner's guide, and we're going to be taking you through the 5 fundamentals. First of all, to give you an understanding of what is required to make all this social media stuff work and tick. So my biggest task at the minute is building or rebuilding and improving, call it what you will, our curriculum, which is a social media food chain. This is, or it seems like, an ever evolving and growing organism. It gets bigger, it gets better every time we sort of revisit this. So what I try and do is I try and give it a certain amount of time every single day. So once I've gone through all my emails, I take a look at the food chain and make sure that it's probably the best it can be. So it's having like a bit of a major revamp, if you like. Whilst the food chain fundamentally is still very much the same, the way in which we deliver our service now is changing and evolving to cope with the demand. Actually, it seems really strange saying that there is a demand for our service, but there is, and we are blessed, I suppose, that we are lucky enough to still be going and still be in a position where we can still maintain some kind of presence and still maintain an incoming customer base. I'm not going to lie, we are the busiest we've ever been, and ever since this thing hit, we are bringing on more customers in a week than we ever have done in a month. You know, to give you a kind of indication of what that looks like, we're pulling in upwards of over 30 customers every week. So we have to change. We have to work with that. We're looking for new staff now, and there's not many people who can say that. It's about like pivoting very, very quickly and making changes to your maybe business model, which we have done, the way in which we employ people, which we have done, the way in which we do business, which we have done. But it's about making sure that you are able to adjust, I think, throughout these times. There are businesses. I spoke to a friend last night, actually, two-way on WhatsApp till like midnight, really. He's a fashion outlet. He sells men's designer clothes, but he's still got a good online business, you know what I mean? He pivoted really, really quickly. He chose to obviously close his doors because he was forced to. There was no choosing about it, but had a very, very strong website, and then did the savvy thing and concentrate on social and make it happen. So good luck to him. So those businesses that are choosing to pivot, stay connected, I think are going to ride this and be okay. But that's what business is all about, isn't it? It's about adjusting and making sure that, you know, you are abreast of like whatever's going off right now, and you can make it happen. And all these things come to mind. Actually, they come like, oh, I spoke to Dave last night. Bloody hell, I hope he's all right. Even after that, like we spoke. What it would. It's now 10 to 6. Even though we spoke 7 or 8 hours ago yesterday. But again, this is what it's like being in business, isn't it? You get these friends, you get these people that have the similar kind of like issues, problems as you have, and you stay up late just chatting shit for hours.
Yeah, I've got a question, but it's like a guru question, so whenever it's there.
Okay
So
then. Is it a reply?
We finish now and break off into our individual teams. We've got 15 minutes till 9:30, and then get cracking, yeah?
Yeah. No worries. Abby, Sophie, I'll call you back after this message. As soon as I put the this call down, I'll call you back on my phone.
Okay.
David, you want me to join the crave?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll send the link right now.
Alright guys,
Okay.
see you in a bit.
It's a bit.
Bye bye.
Later.
Bye.
Meeting over. It was as easy as that. It's never often very difficult. It's often quite simple, isn't it, Ben? Come on, do you want to come in this? Look.
I don't know because it's following you.
It's
so
following my
don't
face.
get too close to me.
Don't get too close to me. We're actually exercising social distancing. It's because Ben's got a really, really big face. He's actually sat 2 meters behind me right now. But he's a big boy. This whole COVID shit has not gone down particularly well
So much.
for him. Whereas me, on the other hand, I've lost an awful lot of weight. We're just all looking at things very, very differently here at Be More Social, and some choosing to sort of assume that it's winter and we're going into hibernation and we should eat lots. Whereas others realising it's summertime very, very soon. By the time this is over, the sun will be out, and so will the guns. Later. It's been a while since I've done one of these. We are, I think, into week 4 of lockdown. Nothing much has changed for me and for a couple of people in the office because just of the kit that we use. It certainly won't fit in a spare bedroom or the end of my bed or anything like that. So we have to come in. Certainly because of the commitments that we've got as well with people right now, the type of clients that we've got that we keep. It's quite important that we fulfill for them and on their behalf, because it also supports businesses going through what they're going through right now. Strange times, very, very strange times. I don't know what to make of them or think of them, because I suppose as a consequence of what's happening, a lot of people have turned to digital, social. So like I'm emotionally kind of like twisted about all of this, because we've every week, I think the first week of being in official lockdown, we received the most clients we've ever had in 1 week than we've ever had in a month. And then every week thereafter, we're getting more and more and more. We're kind of breaking those records. So I want to feel happy and excited, but at the same time, I fear that people's decisions are good, are right. It's important to pivot. But the decisions for getting involved in social and the digital world, full stop, have been forced upon them. So I suppose that's how we grow. You know, some of my best moments in life, if you like, has had me performing under pressure. So you know, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe I'm just chatting shit. But yeah, it's a strange time, you know, because at the minute you can't feel like you can celebrate any wins. At the moment, it doesn't feel like, you know, you can officially enjoy it. So what we did do, or what we are doing, is giving away that month for free to sort of like make it feel better, I suppose. Again, like I say, it's really, really strange, and I've been that busy, I've not even had any time to break out and do something like this. So this is why I'm choosing to do it now. It's like 5:30 in the morning, there's nobody about, my day hasn't officially started. And what used to happen when I come in at this time, I would be thinking, okay then, what am I doing today? Let's have a list, let's have a look at what I've got to do for the day. At the moment, I'm walking in thinking, let's try and get on top of where I'm at right now, because it's crazy. We have moved very quickly on a lot of things. We have pivoted as we keep preaching in the webinars that we're producing right now about the importance of digital and the importance of pivoting quickly. Let's not waste any time. Let's pivot and make sure that we are making the very most of the forced upon us downtime. Yeah, some of us have got downtime, a lot of downtime. What is it that you've wanted to do that you haven't done? Now's the time to do it. You've got every excuse, if that's even a thing, but you've got every opportunity. You've got no excuse not to, maybe. And I suppose what you've got to think about is, I can't control what I can't control. I can't have an impact on when or how this corona stuff goes away. But what I can impact is how I come out of the other end of this. And that's what we chose, like we really quickly thought about that, like we're that quick, you know what I mean? We're like, fuck, what can we do? Because we've lost all the speaking gigs, they've all gone, there's no point dwelling on it. We may have lost all the money as well that we poured into it, that's not a problem, that's fine. What can we do now to make sure that we come out of this on top. And fortunately, we already had a lot of third-party partnerships. So we just jumped on them straight away and said, listen, this is a dark time for us all. Let us support you in some way, shape or form and deliver you these webinars, okay? The workshops that we was going to perform, let's deliver you these webinars, all right? So we had probably best part of 20 or 30 workshops booked, 8 speaking slots appearing at 9 exhibitions, for the want of a better word, or expos. So all of those people were called, and a large majority of them came back and said, you know what, that's a great idea. And I know for a fact, well, the data's there, right? In the 4 weeks of lockdown, we have a list of 1,400 people to follow up on. That's mad. The whole coronavirus news is all a little bit doom and gloom. It's all a little bit one-sided. You know, I'm very, very proud and pleased of what people are doing that are the necessaries out there, that are in work, that are doing their job, and we're grateful for that. There's not much kind of been spoke about the people that are not forgotten, because you can't forget about what's about to happen. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are following the rules, have been furloughed, you know, that and they're probably used to earning, some of them, a lot of them, more than $2.5 grand a month, and now they're having to get by and do shit that they've probably never even done before. There's a lot of that, and it scares me just even thinking about it. But there's not enough of that in the news, you know what I mean? There's not enough of those, you know, celebrating those people that have had to change the way of life, change what they do day to day. Because I know a lot of those people. I speak with them on a daily basis, you know what I mean? We have now hundreds of clients that are those people, you know, and that's the, like, that for me, that's almost like a huge impact, because I know how that kind of like impacted people's lives. So it's just, when you start, when you give yourself time to think about it, what's happened is massive, huge. For this 4-week period, where I have friends, family, customers on lockdown, locking their business down as well. The impact is huge. We just come off the back of a bank holiday weekend. I have friends that are restaurant and pub owners that potentially lost, well, some businesses, some of my friends would have lost hundreds of thousands of pounds because of this weekend. Hundreds of thousands of pounds. You know, and they're faced with that period, the bank holiday, the Easter bank holiday period, would have certainly given them 2-3 months worth of buffer. It's these periods, the Christmases, the Valentines, the Easter bank holiday weekends, that gives these people their profits, their profit margins, you know what I mean? And they've not had that major opportunity where families, couples, friends have a 4-day weekend, and they've not had that opportunity to capitalize on it. They're the things that, like, I just think to myself, wow, when all of this goes down and all of this goes quiet and we're not clapping anymore, and it's those people that I hope aren't going to be forgot about, because that's I don't know, it's massive, and it affects me thinking about it sometimes.